Hello and welcome back to Awakening to Your Story TV, the place to learn, get inspired, and be supported on the journey of life. I'm your host, author, emotional heart expert, and heart enthusiast, Alicia Hartzell, and Darby Jupiter is with us today. Today's question is very similar to another question I answered earlier in the season, but I really like this slightly different approach, and I don't think that we can talk about this topic too much. So here it is. Dear Alicia, how do I build my faith back up in humanity? I had this deep belief that we would continue to rise together as a collective, but it feels like over the past few years, we are working harder and harder to divide and destroy each other. I'm having a really hard time regaining my belief that we are processing and progressing forward and not going backward. How do I get back to that place of trust? So I actually think that we aren't trying to destroy each other any more than we have for, say, all of history. I think it feels like that now because with technology, we have this ability to know more and to spread more at any given moment. Now, there are ups and downs to this. The downside is that we see so much more. We see all the stuff that was so easily hidden to us, right? Or swept under the rug. It's harder not to see these things. Now, the upside is that all that stuff that was so easily hidden from us or swept under the rug, it's now harder not to see. Yep, the upside and the downside, they are the same. It is harder to fix what you don't see. It's like we're shining a light into the darkness of what was hidden from us as a collective. Now, sometimes that feels like we're tearing each other apart. I really do get that. It's us coming to terms with what is in the darkness, though. Some people will want to stay there. They'll want to hide in the darkness. Some will feel ashamed, and some will need to be validated or vindicated. Now, none of these feelings are wrong, but they are all plugged in to the fear that is found in the darkness. None of us can do better until we know better, no matter how much another person may want us to. We find ourselves this time dealing with the darkness, clamoring to find and understand and deal with how we are in relationship to it. In this process, fear still has us separating ourselves out into them versus us, right versus wrong, or their side versus my side. But here's the thing about looking into the darkness. If you have to be super careful that you aren't plugging into the fear that you found there. Fear is really sneaky, and it can grab your energy before you even realize that it has it. Fear works to devour your faith. Everything comes from one of two places, love or fear. That faith that you feel like you've lost, it was aligned with love. In the light of all of this uncovering, your focus has shifted and your attention has been to what you found in the darkness. This is where fear has snuck in. But now is your chance to activate love again, only this time stronger and with a deeper ownership. It's time to turn your faith into humanity, into action for humanity. You always have the power to choose whether you plug into fear or you plug into love. Once you make that choice, all of the energy that courses through you expresses that energy, and it carries that particular energy forward. As things come to light for you, take time to really reconcile how you feel in relationship to it. If you make sure that you remain plugged into love in this process, fear will not be able to toss you around. From there, you can rise within your truth, fully aligned with the light of that divine universal love. Your faith in humanity and trust in the movement forward will be restored, and you become an active part of that process. You get to broaden and spread love far and wide, showing humanity your light. I used this acronym in the last episode, and people said that it really helped, so I want to use it again. I really love, right? So the next time you feel yourself being pulled into the darkness by fear, reach for LOVE. Use the L to remind you to look to see that you are plugging into love. Use the O to remind you to own your truth. And the V, to vanquish out the fear. And that E, to embrace your ability to rise, be light, and create space for others to rise and be light. You have a valuable place at the table of humanity, and the inner work that you do in response to what is going on at the table of humanity, it has power to ripple out to the others around you. So plug back into love and restore your faith in humanity. And until next time, know that I am holding a space of love for you, where your power to rise and plug into love, it's undeniable. For more support, information, and inspiration, join me at awakeningtoyourstory.com.